There we go. Okay, I'm thinking we're live. Testing 1, 2, 3. Can anyone give me... Hey, Stacking and Clacking. Hey there, buddy. Can you give me a 5x5? Can anyone give me a 5x5 and let me know that you can hear okay?
Patrick, so far it's coming up not on air to me. So.
Okay. Give it a few seconds. Should come live here really quick. 5x5, gang. Let me know if you can hear. Testing 1, 2, 3. Hey there, Stacking and Clacking. Hang on. Stacking and Clacking gave us a 25 as opposed to a 5x5. So I'm thinking that's pretty close to a 5x5. 5 times 5 is 25, so awesome. Okay, gotcha. Stacking saying we're live. We're good to go. Okay, excellent. And we don't have a whole lot of folks in here right now, but I'm going to go ahead and start this off. First of all, I've got Jimmy D live with me on the cell phone through speaker. And basically wanted to let everyone know about the major event. Major event is the Liberty Workday at the Missouri Capitol. And that has to do with the Second Amendment Preservation Act, which is what we've all been working on. And looks like there may actually be a vote in the Senate to pass SAPA tomorrow. So we wanted to make sure that everyone was aware tomorrow's the big day. But there are other bills being considered too. One of them I've been actually asking people to be active on, which is kill the PDMP bill, which is actually a gun control bill. It's a red flag bill. And then also another exciting one that I did not promote because I didn't want to overwhelm you guys is HB 1358, the end of COVID tyranny in the state of Missouri. If that bill goes through, we will be like Florida or Texas. We will not have any more mask mandates allowed in the entire state of Missouri. And this is a very, very exciting bill as well. And Ron Calzone has championed all 3 of these bills. In fact, I do believe the HB 1358 is also his bill, just like the Second Amendment Preservation Act is. And Ultra, hey, welcome, buddy. Welcome.
Welcome, Ultra.
Yep, we got Jimmy D here with us again for this live stream. But what this is about, really, is about those of us who are in Missouri, if at all possible, if you could please be in Jefferson City tomorrow. Jimmy D is going, I'm going. So Ron is asking people to be there anytime between 8:15 and the evening hours, because there's a reason for that. I'll probably be there around 8:30, and Jimmy D will be there approximately the same time. We're both traveling very long distances to get there. But the reason being is because there is a very good possibility, and although Ron puts here on his Facebook post, although nothing is certain, Tuesday may be the most likely day for the Senate to pass SAPA. And I've heard through the grapevine that the House is ready to take it up immediately. If it passes through the Senate, the House will take it on immediately, have a special session to go ahead and repass SAPA. They've already passed it before, but if you guys remember, Voodoo is with us. Hey there, Voodoo. There's been some slight language change having to do with the chilling effect of taxation. And because of the slight language change, it has to be repassed by the House with that language change, because that language change happened after it passed the House. So tomorrow could be one heck of a historic day. Not just the Second Amendment Preservation Act, but also the end of COVID tyranny. In other words, a bill to prevent any cities or counties from ever doing masking orders or social distancing. They won't be allowed to do that anymore. And I hate to go on and on about that because I haven't covered it very well. I really have been focusing, although I do believe in that bill very strongly. It's important. I think Jimmy D does as well. But
absolutely, absolutely. Basically we're going to end the tyranny that's destroying our economy.
Yep. Not only that, but also too, private businesses can still make their own rules You make a mask order, for a private business. Let's just say that Joe Blow's Hardware, local hardware store says, well, we're going to keep the masking order. Well, that's okay. Actually, the better example is Lowe's. Lowe's decides to keep a masking order policy in their corporation. And that's okay, because now you can go to Joe Blow's hardware store, who doesn't have a masking order, and you can give your business to them instead. When a city does it for the entire city, then they all have to comply. Otherwise, they pay fines and penalties and face the possibility of being shut down as a business. So that kind of stuff comes to an end. But also, too, a really important point I forgot to mention is also this bill deals with passports. I'm sure you guys have heard about this. In Florida or Texas, you don't have to have a quote-unquote COVID passport to fly into Texas or fly out of Texas. Same thing with Florida. That is also in our bill. You won't have to have a COVID passport to fly in and out of the state of Missouri. So these are the exciting bills. And once again, I'm going to give credit where credit is due. Second Amendment Preservation Act, that's Ron's bill. It always has been since it was first introduced in 2013. And HB 1358 is also Ron's bill to end COVID tyranny and to prevent cities and counties from creating masking and social distancing orders. And you guys know why they do that. They do that for federal money, because there's federal grant money for any city or county that involves themselves in masking orders or social distancing orders and that sort of thing. So Ultra says also Menards. Does Menards resist the? They have a policy against masking, as I'm saying, or I'm thinking maybe based on your comment, Ultra. I'm not sure. So
we're waiting now for Ultra to type quickly.
Yeah. Well, there's about a 10-second delay too.
Yeah, and I have the same problem. Whenever you try to answer something in the type form, it always, is 10 things down the list.
Yep. Well, also, too, sometimes that 10-second delay, still got lots and lots of orders here out here in Alabama. Stacking and clacking, you need to do something to change that. This COVID crap has got to end, and we have to do it. The government won't do it for us. They like the tyranny. They enforce the tyranny. Okay, they make you wear regardless of local policy. Okay, Menards, if that's true, then Menards has to get off our shopping list. So we have to stay away from Menards. And Lowe's, they have a mask sign. You must wear a mask to come inside of our store. But when I go in there, I don't wear one, and they don't bug me. No one says anything. It's like half the people have a mask on in Lowe's, the other half do not. So, but that is yet another bill that may be decided tomorrow. So this is pretty exciting. So Ron is asking, if anyone can come up. And hey there, Gabriel. Good to see you here, buddy. If you can make it to the Capitol tomorrow, Jimmy D and I will both be there. I'm actually thinking about calling my neighbor and see if he has time to come up with me as well. And let's make ourselves known here. Harrison County, Mo, remove the mask mandate. Voodoo, that's happening all over the state of Missouri right now because the COVID numbers are down. But Springfield's masking order remains. And by the way, for those of you who didn't know this, because I didn't transmit it on Truth, Money, and Freedom, I did it through another channel. July of last year, I actually participated in an anti-mask, I'd say, rally, while the city of Springfield, Missouri, was making a decision on it, which they ultimately decided to mask. Now, the vast majority of the people said no masking, and they did it anyway. We were kind of curious as to why they literally didn't, on a local level, didn't submit to the will of the people. We found out very quickly, 2 days later, and I do mean it, 2 days later, Springfield applied for and received $35 million from the federal government as a grant. It was not something they have to pay back. And that was because they went with a masking order. They participated in the COVID tyranny. And there were financial benefits for doing that. So this is why counties and cities are doing this, gang. They're actually getting grant money to enforce the tyranny. So for those of you who are wondering why these counties and cities keep doing it to us, it's because there's money in it. So we have to...
I don't care about your rights or how you feel about anything. It's all about the money.
Yep, follow the money. Menards will not check you out without a mask. Gotcha. Thank you for that, Ultra. That's very important information I did not know. So we should all avoid Menards. So I haven't been in a Menards in several years, so although we do have one in Springfield. So, but at any rate, tomorrow, guys, 8:15 a.m. To the evening hours, because chances are they will still be, working on legislation literally into the evening, and that's very common when we're on the very last week of legislation. Remember now, Friday is the end. That's the end of the legislative season for the state of Missouri. The Senate and the House still meet 2 more times, but that's to deal with existing legislation if there are problems, but no new bills are being considered. There's no changes to bills. There's no amendments to bills anymore. So let me give you an example. If we pass this tomorrow through the Senate and through the House, because they go into the evening hours, and it goes to the governor's desk, and then he decides to veto it next week. Well, there's 2 sessions left for the House and the Senate. One's in, I believe one's in June and one's in September. So they can override the veto at that time. So that's why we have 2 additional small sessions. But to be a politician in Missouri, it's a part-time job, actually. So we're not full-time people out here. They don't want, career politicians out of this. So, greasing palms. Yeah, I suppose there's some of that going on. So we joked. And by the way, for those of you who do show up tomorrow, I'm going to ask a special favor. I know that a lot of people have started calling Senator Huff Senator Crab Cake or Crab Cakes, and let's not do that tomorrow when we're there. Let's be. Go ahead.
You started that.
I didn't start calling him that. That might have been Tribulation Prepper that kind of started that. But at any rate, I'm saying that won't get us anywhere. So basically, if you run into Senator Huff, let's be respectful. He did release it out of his committee. It did take some pressure to get that done, but it did get done, and it got done in time. We're dealing with this tomorrow. So this is pretty exciting, gang. I mean, I can't tell you how excited I am. I've been working on this with Jimmy D for literally 2 years. Literally 2 years we've been working on this. And the year before, and you might ask, why did I get so involved? It's because 3 years ago, I saw a story on this, and it was fake news, and I passed it on through the Truth, Money, and Freedom podcast, and I felt very bad about that. So that's why last year and this year I've been pushing it so hard. I didn't mean to push fake news. I did not even make a phone call to verify the news. So this time I'm talking to people on the inside, and I know exactly what's going on up there. So, okay, some questions here. Do we know what time SAPA will be brought up on the Senate floor? No, we don't, Ultra. We have no clue. In fact, we don't even know for a fact it's going to be brought up on the Senate floor tomorrow. But Ron has it that there is a strong possibility it may happen. So that's what Ron's getting from the Senate leadership. That would be Schatz. So he's been talking about that on Facebook. So he is pretty sure something's going to happen. Okay, RJ says Menards has people walking around telling people to pull your mask up and wear it properly. Good deal. Thank you, RJ. Appreciate that, because now we know not to go to Menards. M. Gabriel said, what about the church carry bill? Not in the same Senate informal calendar yet. I don't know anything about the church carry bill, M. Gabriel. I'm sorry, I did not follow that at all. I had to really focus my attention on SAPA, but I'm thinking that SAPA actually would probably help that along in a big way. So, but at any rate, guys, I got Jimmy D with me live on speakerphone. If you guys have any questions or anything about what's going on, please throw them in the chat. And I'm going to be there approximately 8:30 a.m. tomorrow. And Jimmy D will be there approximately the same time. When you drive such a long distance, it's impossible to tell people exactly what time you'll be there. My drive is just over 3 hours. Jimmy D's is approximately the same thing. So, but we're all meeting, if you guys can see this on your screen, the third floor alcove above the rotunda. And it's right when you go up through the elevator, you can't miss it. It's a pretty big area. So, third floor alcove above the rotunda. So
yeah, basically, folks, it's as soon as you step off the elevator, you're, for all intents and purposes, there.
Yep. So, and as far as parking goes, if you're there early enough, there's actually some really great parking right around the Capitol building itself. And it's free parking, but those, and I have never had good luck. I'm always parking in a massive public parking lot that is approximately about a quarter-mile walk to get to the Capitol, maybe a little over a quarter mile, a third mile. But there's all kinds of free parking all over the place, but some of it may require a little bit of a walk. So for those of you who have never been to the Capitol before. So, but Ron Calzone will definitely, I've already talked to Ron this morning, or actually I texted with him, and he will definitely be there at 8:15 in the morning. So we're going to go talk to senators, gang. That's what we're going to do. We're going to talk to senators, probably talk to some representatives. We'll split up into groups if we're large enough to go, basically try and change some minds. And, it'd be real nice, to show support for those who are for the bills we are for, to go to their offices and say thank you too. But, our time is best spent talking to folks that we have a strong suspicion are against any of the bills here. Second Amendment Preservation Act is the priority by far. But I think, by the way, I did get calls literally on Sunday, yesterday, from representatives about the PDMP bill, believe it or not. So, representatives were actually making phone calls on Sunday, Mother's Day. HB 359, church carry has not been approved by the House yet, so it's likely dead. Okay.
Yeah, it won't get any attention this year.
Okay.
Because we've got a week left and that's it.
Yeah.
Not enough time to go through the process.
Yep. So if it's not gotten out of committee, chances are it's not going to make it through. Gabriel, I wish you could join us tomorrow too. I wish you could.
You certainly can join us. All you have to do is come.
Yeah, well, in the case of those who can't join, if you could continue calling your senators, continue calling. Guys, this isn't a big push anymore for phone calls. The phone calls have had a massive impact, but the impact is diminishing returns at this point, in the Senate. But if you want to call your representative one more time your senator one more time today and ask them to support SAPA, unless you know that they already are supporting SAPA, then it's time to literally make some iced tea and get ready for the show tomorrow. Now, I'm going to try, but I'm not going to make any promises. I'm going to try to get some of this up live tomorrow. I have been, and this is my problem, gang, I am resistant to actually putting my YouTube account on my phone. I'm very resistant to it. So I may put it on another phone and then do a wireless connection from one phone to the other. I just don't want my phone, compromised by having, some Google stuff on there. You guys know what I'm talking about. So I will try to get some live stuff out tomorrow. So you guys will be up to date, even if it's little 3-minute snippets of live video. So you guys can see what's going on and what progress is being made, that sort of thing. So I can keep you guys updated. But tomorrow's a big event. So at any rate, I intend to stay for the duration. And that means until the evening hours. Call House reps about SB 63, PDMP. Yes, exactly. Thank you for that, Gabriel. That is correct. To kill PDMP, I have a good feeling that bill is dead, but I don't know that to be a fact. I wish I did, but my gut's telling me the House won't pass it. So it's probably dead.
All the information that I got from any rep that I talked to, it was a no-go, but that's not 100% of them. So,
yeah. Truth Seeker 7, welcome, by the way. Truth Seeker says, "Thank you, Patriot Warriors. I'll be praying." You know what? That's a really good point, and I should have thought to bring that up. Those of you who can help pray that things actually go the way of freedom and liberty, I would really appreciate it. RJ says, Pettis County Sheriff, by the way, is dead set against SAPA. He says it keeps him from helping or getting help, especially the DEA. I tried talking at length, but perhaps not using the proper verbiage. Okay, RJ, I have specific words for you on this. This is a really, really big problem with the sheriffs. When they keep talking about they can't get help, they can't get help, they can't get help. They can get help. This gets really complicated, but I'll try and sum it up in 30 seconds. When it comes to Missouri law, the feds can come in and help. Our law right now is very similar to federal law in almost every regard when it comes to firearms. The difference is the way the bill is written as of January 1st, no federal law, January 1st of this year, by the way, so we're going back 3-4 months. Any new laws that have come out since January 1st will not be acknowledged by the state of Missouri, and then we'll go through a process that'll take several years to figure out which laws we want to keep in Missouri and which ones we want to get rid of. So he can still get help on, because it'll be Missouri law too. For instance, someone shows up with a grenade. Well, Missouri law says that's illegal. So federal law says it's illegal, and Missouri law says so he could still get help with a grenade. Things of that nature. So if someone go ahead.
Specifically, he was talking about DEA, drug enforcement.
No.
And SAPA's got nothing to do with drug enforcement.
Yep, that's correct.
They can still do their drug cooperations where they get together and they, if they're, busting a big kingpin or something of that nature. SAPA's got nothing to do with drug enforcement. So that particular sheriff is misinformed.
Yeah. Yep. So, but at any rate, if there's drug stuff going on, there's still cooperation between Missouri law enforcement and the Fed. So if there's drugs and guns involved, and they know there's guns involved, then the rules change. So, that's the area that he may be talking about. However, if he is willing to sacrifice the constituents of Pettis County, his constituents' rights to the Second Amendment for his conveniences, then he needs to be replaced as sheriff because it's his job now to find another way. And by the way, change is coming. Change is coming, everyone. I'll get to yours in a second here. Whether that change comes from Joe Biden or from the Second Amendment Preservation Act, change is coming. So whether we get draconian, anti-Second Amendment, anti-constitutional bills coming down the pike, hitting everyone in the United States, that's one possible change. The other possible change is Missouri says no more to the feds. We're not acknowledging your laws anymore. If you guys want to enforce your laws in the state of Missouri, you can come in and do so, but you won't get any of our resources to do it. And if someone does give resources to do it, there's a heavy financial penalty for doing that. And your legal team is paid for by the federal government as well. So, yeah.
You haven't, that was probably the most truthful statement I've heard you ever say. You know what I mean? That's you can accept the pile of stuff that's coming down on us from Washington, or you can make a stand right here at the Missouri State Capitol and build a giant wall which will prevent that pile of stuff coming down on us. There you go. Plain as day.
Yep. Okay, I'm going to continue on with the comments here. Ultra said, "Got to work tomorrow. Do you have any little updates on any other platforms so we can stay informed when you're not doing videos?" Actually, no, I am not set up that way. So I could. No, I think YouTube would probably be the best way to handle that. That's where the vast majority of the audience is that cares about the Second Amendment Preservation Act. So that's my guess, is I'll have to do little updates literally on YouTube. So I'll figure out a way to get it done, gang, so I can get you guys updates throughout the day. Also, too, if those of you are on Facebook, Ron Calzone is on Facebook, and it is Ron Calzone. So just do a search for Ron Calzone, and you can see if he puts any updates up. I've used primarily just YouTube for spreading the message. RJ says, "Gotcha, thank you," about Pettis County Sheriff. You bet, buddy. Unfortunately, the Pettis County Sheriff goes on the naughty list. That means he will be recognized as someone who is anti-SAPA, anti-Second Amendment. And
that means when you have the opportunity, vote him out.
That's correct. You have to get those anti-Second Amendment sheriffs. Those, okay, guys, I'm going to get to your comments here in a second, but I just want to say this. I don't know that I've ever said this before. Politicians, including sheriffs, can tell you day after day, minute after minute, election after election, how Second Amendment they are. There is one measure here to be absolutely sure they are Second Amendment, and that is the Second Amendment Preservation Act. That is the best measure we have in the state of Missouri for who is actually Second Amendment. So, okay, I'll move on. M. Gabriel says, "Who exactly decides when these bills hit the floor? Rolland or Schatz?" I am not 100% sure about that. I suspect it's probably Schatz. So that is my guess. However, I will go back and repeat myself on something Ron said. Ron is absolutely certain that Schatz is definitely for passing this bill. Not necessarily because Schatz loves the bill, but because the public outpouring, the emails, the phone calls, the visits, it's been overwhelming. And so...
It's all thanks to you guys.
Yep. Everyone who's been doing that. It's not just Truth, Money, and Freedom folks. It's Aaron Doerr's folks. Ron has his own folks, too. This is a grassroots movement, and you guys, everyone who is making phone calls and sending emails, have gotten us to this point. So thank you, all of you. Let's see, Gabriel says, "Or can any rep call for a vote on the bill be taken from the table if they're recognized by the president?" No, I think the president pro tem actually makes the decision. That's my guess right now. Schatz would do it. You could just start your own stream before you leave, covering the Senate audio, and just turn the comments off. Yep, I could try to do that. The problem is getting audio. Getting audio from a phone, during a large, event like this probably won't work very well. So I may just do streams of myself giving you guys updates of what's actually going on. I'll see if I can actually get it to work, where we can, actually, it may be on closed circuit TV, where I could hold my camera up and you guys can see the live debate or something, or live vote on that TV, and I could hold my phone up to it. So yeah, I'm not so worried about the chat part of things. But now there is just so you guys are absolutely clear here, there is no guarantee. There is no guarantee they're going to do this tomorrow. It's just that Ron has a good feeling they're going to be doing this tomorrow in the Senate. And then Ron also has it that if they do it in the Senate, the House is ready to take this on. I mean, literally tomorrow. So the Senate passes it. It goes right back down to the House. Within 2-3 hours, we have a new vote in the House. And the House will certainly pass it. There is no issues with the House. The Senate has always been the wild card, gang. So, okay. So do you guys have any questions at all about what's going on tomorrow? The parking situation, as you drive around the Capitol, you'll see these large public parking places. There's also paid parking if you want to be real close to the Capitol. But you have to go back. Jimmy, how does that work again? You have to go back like every 2 hours and feed the machine?
Yeah, exactly. They give you a 2-hour time limit. Now, at the risk of incriminating myself here, I let that go over by almost an hour the last time I was there, and I didn't get a ticket. However, I did see, parking meter police out there checking these things. So if I put enough in there for 2 hours and I went right up against my 2-hour minimum or maximum, I would make sure to get my tail end down there and refeed the meter, because the potential for the ticket is certainly there.
Yep. So, all right. Well, basically, gang, that's pretty much, the parking situation there. I have never had any luck getting the close up to the Capitol free parking spaces. Jimmy has, though. One time you did get one of those spots, Jimmy.
Yes, I did. And it was nice.
Yep.
Get there early and you might get one too.
Yep. So if you're up there early enough, you can get those spots. So my luck has never been so good. So I'm usually about a quarter mile to a third mile away in a large public parking place. And that's generally where I park. So those of you who can make it, and Casey Rich, I have been exchanging emails with, and he's not here right now, but Casey Rich is talking about making it up for sure, if you guys remember him in the live chat. So it's a long trip for him too. So God bless and God protect anyone making that trip tomorrow. This is an important day, and we got a lot of work to do. And this is the last day. Tomorrow's like the last day, gang, to really make an impact here. That's it. And if tomorrow it does not, actually Ron says Wednesday would be the last day really that it would go up for a vote in the Senate to actually get it done. M. Gabriel says, thanks TMF and Jimmy. Hey, you bet, Gabriel. Thank you for making phone calls and sending emails. And
yes, listen, guys, come out if you can. We would love to meet you. We would just love it. All you guys have been so loyal and you've lent so much support. We would really love to meet you in person. And you know what they say, man, strength in numbers. So
Yep.
Come out, please.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Let's see. Voodoo said, that would be great. Then we know who needs to go. That's correct, Voodoo. Unbeknownst to many politicians and sheriffs, a lot of people are keeping naughty and nice lists. So we know who needs to leave office when their term is up. So we will be actively displaying that information for the world to see through various places such as Facebook and YouTube and various other platforms, so that the people of Missouri can understand when elections are happening again who is pro-Second Amendment and who is not, who just says it, who is paying lip service to the people, and who actually backs it up with votes and with public support. This is where the rubber hits the road, gang. Now, I know that's a one-issue item, but that is a very important issue. If you have someone as a sheriff or as a representative or a senator that says they're pro-Second Amendment, but they have been actively against the Second Amendment Preservation Act, they must go. No ands, ifs, or buts. This was the measure. There is no better measure. So that's the stance that I'm taking. So
think of it this way, guys. To my way of thinking, the Second Amendment protects everything we have. And if they're willing to compromise that Second Amendment, you got to ask yourself, what else are they willing to compromise? What else are they willing to slip out the back door and take a whatever for, with no concern whatsoever for your rights?
That's right. Yeah, if they're willing to trade in your Second Amendment rights for some conveniences or federal dollars, how long will it be before the sheriffs enforce taking away your First Amendment rights, your Fourth Amendment rights? So you have to think of it that way, because it's just true. True Seeker 7 says sheriffs have a lot of power. That is very true. I wonder about Boone County Sheriff. Well, I'll tell you what, I don't know anything about Boone County Sheriff, because the naughty and nice list for the sheriffs is pretty much being maintained by Ron Calzone, and I haven't looked at that list lately. So I don't know about Boone County at this time. So, all right, gang, if you have any other questions, go ahead and throw them in, because I think we're at a point now where we can probably wrap up the live stream. I just wanted to make sure everyone knew about the event tomorrow in Jefferson City, Missouri. For those of you who can make it, that would be awesome. Jimmy D and I and Ron Calzone will be there. Richard Fowler says, I love my Missouri. It's the greatest state. I love Missouri too, Richard, and we're going to make it better tomorrow. We're going to make it even a greater state tomorrow. That's what we're doing.
That is the truth. I'm right there with you, TC. I believe everything you're saying right there.
Yep. Remember now, it's not just the Second Amendment Preservation Act. It's also the end of the COVID tyranny, HB 1358. Let's see. And also, we're going to kill the PDMP bill tomorrow in the House. Gabriel says county should require all finding for sheriffs come through the county. Funding. Okay. Require that all funding for the sheriffs come through the county. I agree with you. There shouldn't be federal funds, because that's how they get in and try and control. Basically, a lot of things to do with sheriff's offices, including policy. So, how do we get that list? Voodoo, I will be providing that list, so don't worry about that. That list will be provided. Let's see, Truth Seeker 7, Native Missourian. Hey, awesome, Truth Seeker. I am not.
Join us tomorrow, Truth Seeker. Join us tomorrow.
Yep. Truth Seeker, if you can make it tomorrow, that would be awesome. Jimmy D, myself, Ron Calzone. I don't know if Aaron Dorr will be there or not. I've not been in contact with Aaron Dorr in the last few days. So this came up, by the way, after I did my last video, which was Friday. So about Ron scheduling the Liberty Workday at the Missouri Capitol. So this was after I'd already put out my video saying I was going up Tuesday. So we didn't know about this. We didn't know there was an event. So Tuesday I just said, I'm going up there and I'm going to make the biggest difference I can, because I knew that Tuesday and Wednesday were really the last days the Senate could really look at this. Transplant from PA here, Gabriel. I like Missouri better. Yep, me too. I'm a transplant from Minnesota. So came here 25 years ago. It was right after my wife and I got married. We got the heck out of Dodge. And Dodge, of course, is Minnesota. It's a little too blue up there for the two of us, and their taxation was a little too high for our liking. So we came down here. So, all right, gang. I think we've pretty much covered it. So if any other questions, last call for questions, comments, anything having to do with what we're doing tomorrow. Hey, if anyone's going to make it tomorrow, please put it in the chat here. Let us know if you can make it tomorrow. That way we'll be looking for you.
And once again, guys, whether you can make it tomorrow or you can't, we always appreciate your support, your comments, and having that army behind us to get this done. Thanks. Really, thank you very much.
Yep, you're so right, Jimmy. And thank you for saying that. You guys made the difference. You guys, and it's not just you at Truth, Money, and Freedom. There are others, like Ron Calzone has his group and Aaron Dorr has his group. So there's 3 major grassroots groups out there. But, you guys have been awesome, and you guys have made the difference for sure. Thank you, all of you. And if you can't make it tomorrow, prayer would be appreciated. And also, you could make a final phone call to your senator if your senator is not for SAPA. Pardon me. You make a final phone call asking your senator to get on board. So, okay, I think that's about it, gang. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up. I'd like to thank Jimmy D for being with me on the live stream, and also for being up in Missouri at the Capitol tomorrow. That's pretty cool that you can go, man.
Hey, we're kind of in this thing together, my friend. We've been working on this for a very long time, and I wouldn't miss tomorrow for the world. Yep.
I wish David Burden could have been here. And
I understand completely, TC. That's unfortunately that. He's watching us, though, man. He's watching us.
Yep.
He's probably yelling at us saying we need to do this and we need to do that.
Yep. Hey guys, you forgot about Article 1, Section 10, subsection 15 in the Constitution. That was our friend, David Burden. He was part of the Three Amigos.
Again,
Go ahead.
You need to be thanked for all the effort you do. I mean, it's incredible how much you've dedicated your channel and your time. You know as well as I do that we are in constant contact with this thing. Hardly a day goes by where we're not discussing a strategy or something. So thank you for all your efforts as well.
You bet. So it's the grassroots thing, man. It actually does work on the local level. It does not work on the federal level, but it does work on the local level. Let's see. M. Gabriel says, good luck and thanks for representing all of us. You bet. And True Seeker 7 says, where we go one, we go all. Well, I'm hoping that more states follow suit. Right now, there's literally 14 other states trying to get this done right now. And so hopefully we can serve as an example to those states and those states' legislatures that how powerful this can actually be. And once again, this is literally the beginning of literally telling the federal government, please get out of our business. We don't want you here on firearms. And that can serve to use the Anti-Commandeering Act for other aspects. We could talk about that another time. But like PDMP. PDMP is a way to get the Fed into, law enforcement, gun laws again. So that's why we're killing PDMP. We're going to kill that tomorrow. You should include links to Aaron Dorr and Ron Calzone on this page somewhere here. You bet, Gabriel. As soon as this live stream is over, I'll go ahead and include links to both of their websites. I should have thought of that before. You're absolutely right. Yep, I'll get that done as soon as we're done here. Okay, gang. Once again, thank you all for your prayers, for all your phone calls, for all of your emails, and hope to see some of you up in Jefferson City tomorrow. Big day, and it'll be a long day too. Be sure to bring your 5-hour energy drink, for your drive home. If it's a long trip for you particularly. Okay, all right. I'll tell you what, Jimmy, thank you very much for being with us here for this live stream, and I look forward to seeing you again tomorrow, brother. It's been about a year since I saw you.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, thank you to all the viewers, all the efforts that have been made, all the phone call makers out there. Thank you, guys. You have no idea how much we really do appreciate you. You are like a big family to us, and we sincerely, from the bottom of our heart, thank you.
Yep, that's a great way to end it. So, you guys, thank you again. You guys all take care. May God bless each and every one of you. See you next time, gang. Hey, I'll provide updates as I can tomorrow. Take care, gang.